So that makes me curious about, yeah, trying new things, connecting
Mm.
to today's world. Someone was asking about what was the inspiration of this Formless Track, this music album. I've heard a little bit of it. Tell me about that. How did this all start?
Actually, to be quite honest, the story starts 25 years ago, and I'll try not to bore your people here, but there is some dharma in it. There is something really interesting, which is that when we when I first became a monk, the first whole world, it was the year before a whole world's a single flower conference, so it was in 1992 in China. We went through Hong Kong, and there's something, of course, great Daebong, Domun Snim, and Musang Snim were all on the trip and and helping us, to be able to have a chance to practice near Daesan Sanim. And they always take us out to vegetarian restaurants. And I saw in these vegetarian restaurants, of course, there's all this Buddhist iconography, which when you've just come from the West is fascinating to see a lot. Now it's commonplace in Europe all over, but it wasn't so much then. And so some of your Buddhist faith was a little bit confirmed. But they always had Buddhist chanting on. And it was so, it was just kind of the schmaltzy.
Yeah, right.
Namo Quan Shem
Yeah, no.
Po San Namo Quan Shem. But it was cool, and I liked it. I remember I got like a CD or two to like. And the marriage of modern music and that as a way of spreading Dharma. I was already in this exuberant phase of how do we let people know about this? And so anyway, so I just went back to Korea and did training there. But I always remembered that. And we'd go out to restaurants and there was no Buddhist presence. There was no representation of the Dharma in Korean popular culture. And I saw this Christian stuff and Christmas, well, the Christmas songs and love songs, and they praised Jesus at the end. It was okay, great, whatever turns you on. But the Buddhist tradition, which I'd seen both halves of the possibility there. And okay, yeah, teach their own. But one really is an optimized thing for really helping world peace and is modern and scientific. So I just saw that this wasn't in popular culture. So one day I got involved in this group who's the head of the group. There's a social group of Korean kind of business people and people in the arts and media who met once a month, and they would meet in a nice restaurant, and they wanted to have someone be their kind of like guide or spiritual teacher, which was mostly a social thing for them. Anyway, I get invited, and a person sitting next to me, they always put me next to, was the mother of this singer whose name is Psy. The singer Psy, Gangnam Style. But this is 20 years before Gangnam Style. He was famous in Korea, but he wasn't this global famous person, which is why I would think to have this idea. One day I brought a CD of chanting and I gave it to the guy's mother. I said, your son's famous and all that. He knows music people. If he would be interested in showing me, it wasn't my teaching, wasn't my voice. I wanted some old Korean monk, but my goal was to get Daesan Sanim's teaching out into the world by any means necessary. I'd never planned, but I had this dim sense of paying it back. Seriously. The other monks in Hyon Gak Sunim, I used to say I was the Jesuit. I was like this missionary because I'm Catholic background. The Jesuit. Oh, what time the Jesuit's coming in 5 minutes. But I had that about the Santim's teaching. I still do. So I gave her this CD, this crazy idea. Can your son put it together with some techno or introduce me to someone, who could do that? And so I never heard anything back. I wouldn't expect to. Of course, he later became very famous with, he was famous, but he became globally famous with the song. I just forgot about it. Whatever. I don't care. I had other projects and books to do for his real books. Then about a year into the pandemic, a gentleman from the UK named an artist by the name of Armin Ray contacted and said, I'm a Buddhist for 20 years in Throstle Hole. And my teacher died some years ago, and I've been looking at Dharma teachings on the internet, and I connect with these teachings that have your name on it. And do you mind if I put really the Dharma talk voice to some music? Can I send you a song just for, because he's retired, not for money. He says, I'm not thinking about money. I inherited money from my mother, and I'm okay, and I just want to do this. So I just said, yeah. So he just did a song, and I thought it was really cool. But what I really liked was the Dharma was not just hodgepodge used as some catchy kind of stylish thing. He actually caught the structure of the Dharma talk and all the seed words that needed to convey the point. I'm still blown away this guy just caught it. So I'm just really grateful. So he said, oh, I got some time, pandemic, got some time on my hands. Can I do 12 more? And so I started to get a little bit more involved, and then with some remixes and some extended ones to get into the space of the song, it's turned into a couple remixes. It's not to make money. It's all for free on somewhere. And one place where he said you have to have it for a download and iTunes, I have made paperwork so that it only goes to Zen Center Regensburg. I'm not here to make money off the Dharma, as with all of the books that I was involved with. It would be a sin beyond sins. So it's just out there, and it's just a way of me not chopping down trees.